Okie doke. So I'm kind of in the same clothes I was wearing in the last video or two, but actually they have been washed, so I'm clean. I am still in my jammies though from last night and unwashed myself, but I do own more than one of these shirts, if you were wondering. Behind me is a painting I started yesterday. It's from an image I found in the Providence Journal 6 years ago, and I've been carrying around ever since. These are members of a family called the Stokes family in Newport, Rhode Island, and it comes from a website that is about African Americans in the Gilded Age living in Newport, and you know what these families in Newport did, or members of the Stokes family did. Anyway, it's about a whole bunch of African Americans in Newport, and I read the article and I went on the website because of this article in the newspaper, and it really hit me hard. I found it somewhat emboldening and validating, and also struck. Wait a minute, let me think. It also had me rethinking a lot of work I'd been doing. I'd already been doing a number of paintings of non-white people, and I had been told by many galleries, several galleries, who told by several galleries that we don't sell to black people. And that specifically, the first time it was, somebody told me that was in New York. At my gallery in New York, and it was so upsetting to me. I just kind of stood there shocked. But I went along with the game because I figured, okay, if you're not going to sell those images, I'll paint images that you like for the customers, you know, you have on record as being your customers, and white people, and from varying religions, and we'll take it from there. And what I'll do is I'll take the money from those sales and I'll start producing a portfolio of work of images, people, portraits, figures that I'd rather be doing. And once this contract is up, then I can ditch painting happy white children and white people and focus on the variety of people I'm interested in, figures I'm interested, and feel compelled and driven to paint. I can do what I want to do. We'll placate you and the audience that you have while I store up a portfolio of images that really make my blood pump. So they violated the contract. Everything went no, and I was left devastated because it was a very big contract, but that they ended up violating because it is their mode of operation, from what I've learned. But anyway, I just went into painting images of black and brown people and LGBTQ members of LGBTQ communities throughout the decades. You know, images I could find, but in doing so, I also, this is the point I want to get to. Whenever I can find an image attached to a name, I try as hard as I can to find the conservator of that name or the image, and I write and I ask, may I use this image? I mean, I'm not high on the ladder in the art world. It's not like I'm going to make millions off of it, but it is out of a sense of respect for the photographer, for the family, for the person in, you know, that's in the image that I'm going to be using as reference. It is out of sheer respect that I do that because, number one, it's the right thing to do. But number two, I also know what it's like as an artist to have my image, my videos, my image, my paintings, just flat out used, taken, downloaded, used in other people's work, used without my permission. Videos of mine and images of mine have been used in lectures by people who have stolen work from me or tried to steal work from me. They've given lectures about how fabulous they are and patting themselves on the back, and I find out later they've been using my name, my image, my work to tell, hordes of people, look how fabulous, the speaker I am. So I know what it's like to be used. And I don't ever want anyone to feel that way. I love finding images on the web, but I always ask. I write the person in the LGBTQ community. I find people around them if they're gone. And, I try to figure out who do I ask, may I? And we go from there. But especially with non-white people, I think there has to be extra care taken. It's a precarious position to be in when we use other people's other people's images when we're working. But we need to treat everyone with respect, and especially with communities that have been used and brutalized and are just bandied about treated like they're nothing. Well, I have your image, I want to paint it, I will use it. What if there's a long history of that with the person or people that we're painting? We need to be cognizant of we need to be sensitive. Let's put that. We need to be cognizant of sensitivities and of other people's feeling of worth and value. And we don't want to cross that line and just be the taker. We don't need more, what's his name? We don't need more artists just taking images and saying, well, I'm fabulous, I'm going to paint it, nobody will know the difference, or I'm going to do a piece of work from it, nobody will know the difference and I will profit from them. How hard would that hit if you were an African American and I painted your image and I hadn't asked permission? How hard would that thought hit? This woman is going to profit from them. So I did get a hold, I looked on the web and I found the article once again. This is from 6 years ago. And I found the organization that the image comes from, the website. Found the family. I did write the website and tried to contact through the website and asked if I could use the image, and no one got back to me. It's only been a day, but you know how I am. I'm spastic and I just got to work. But I went on Facebook and I found the president of this heritage organization that is handling the Gilded Age, African Americans in the Gilded Age website, and I wrote her on Facebook. I thought, okay, this is very intrusive, but we're going to try. We're going to do our best. And I wrote them, as I said, emailed, didn't hear back, and started doing the image anyway with the understanding, with the agreement in my head that if I got a hold of someone, I heard back from them and they said, no, you cannot, I would trash the project and move on to something else. I've been obsessed with this image for 6 years, but my ego, my want, my desire, my need shouldn't come before treating people with respect. It should never be at the forefront. It is the person you're painting or working from, the idea, the image, that should always come first. We have to treat people with dignity when we're doing portraits or figure work. Jessica Brown, the Queen, my painting Queen is sitting right over here. She's drying. She has seen everything from beginning to end. In the beginning, I wrote her and I asked her, may I? That was 2 years ago, and she said yes. I followed up and asked her through Facebook, because we do communicate that way. I know it's been 2 years, but may I? Yes. And then every step of the way I've been posting the work, where it is, how it's going, and asked her for any feedback. She actually really loves this painting. She's seen it beginning to end. We were talking again yesterday and she wanted to call me, but I'm not a phone person. Although I chat here, I actually hate the phone. I hate chatting. I hate talking about work in person. It embarrasses me in some ways, and I just don't like it, and it makes me uncomfortable, and the phone is weird. I've never been a phone person. Well, maybe when I was a teenager, but now I'm not. So she's going to text me questions that I asked her and help me fill in some of the blanks that I have on Queen. But again, in making a way out of no way, at the center of that painting was Melanie Moore. Again, every step of the way asking Melanie. I've done her portrait 2 times now. Every step of the way I've asked permission. I've given her updates, blah, blah, blah. And with each portrait, nobody knows this till now, I have the work professionally photographed, and I give the people in charge, the model, or as in this case, the organization, images from the photographer, and they can do whatever they want with them. They can do whatever they want. They can print it on t-shirts or mugs or posters and sell them. I don't care. I have a couple of different things I do to what's the word? Compensate people for allowing me to use their images. But number one is asking. Always ask. So I heard back actually from the president of the Heritage organization, the Gilded Age organization, because I wrote her through Facebook, and she said she needs to talk to the vice president, who actually, these are his relatives. I hit the president first because we go through command. President first. She's talking to Keith, who is a relative of hers as well, and a relative of theirs, and they're going to discuss if I can do it or not. If they come back and say no, this will turn into something else. It's perfectly fine. It's okay. The world will keep going. I will be obsessing over this image, though, and the way these children are seated in the stands and what they represent. What they represented in the early 1900s. The late 1800s, early 1900s, and beyond, what they represented in Newport, Rhode Island, when we have all these, magnets, white financial magnets around them, and corporate, whatever they are, magnets, all around them in these homes. What these people represent is incomprehensible. It's so big and powerful that I hope I get I hope I get permission to. If not, it's okay. It's okay. So we'll see what happens. But I really wanted to talk about it because I don't think I express enough how important it is to show reverence for our subjects. Again, I know what it's like. I know exactly what it feels like to have someone say, I like your work, and you'll never know about this. Pachoing! I know what it feels like. It's not only happened with people stealing my work, my images, my videos in this country, and just doing as they please because they can, and they're that arrogant, but also in Israel, in South America. I mean, it's really happened around the world. Even though I'm Beck Lane and I'm sitting in my tiny little apartment sweating it out, or tiny little duplex unit sweating it out every day, and my scooter's held together with duct tape, and as is the light ring stand. It's all held together with duct tape, like my life. Maybe people see me as powerless. Maybe people see me as vulnerable and powerless and someone who will never know, and they'll never have to compensate me or ask me permission. I know what that feels like, and we don't want to put others in that position as well. We don't want to do that. It sits with you all the time when you're on that end. All right, so keep that in mind. I am going to go shower while I wait to hear back from uh, these two people and see if I have permission to continue with the painting or not. I hope so, but if not, it's okay. It's okay, I understand. Always. All right, take care. Ciao. Ready, Max? Grammy loves you. We've been taking a Maxwell minute in ages. Let's take a sec to do that. Ready? We haven't talked in a long time, my little grandson Max, my little star, my shooting star. We haven't talked in forever. I hope you're having a good summer, but I want you to know Grammy loves you. Ready? You are my sunshine. This is the Maxwell minute, by the way, for my grandson. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray, like today. You'll never know, Max, how much I love you. I hope someday I get to hold you all the time. That didn't rhyme, but I'd love to because I've never held you or hugged you or kissed you, and I want to squish your face. I want to squish your face and kiss it and make it mushy. Love you, Max, from my toes to the moon and bigger than the whole sky. Okay, ready, ready, Carrie? Here we go. Mirror, mirror, mirror. Boink,